Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fantastic Five. This week we're counting down the 5 weirdest villains at Detective Comics. Let's be real, there's something already pretty weird about the idea of dressing like a cat in order to rob a bank, but some villains are just built weirder than others. While there are plenty of villains out there who are intentionally mind-warpingly strange, like the Brotherhood of Dada, or the Candlemaker, or really anyone the Doom Patrol ever fought, this time we're looking at bad guys who came out a little odder than was probably intended. Before we get to the main list, here are a handful of weirdos who didn't quite make the cut. Ten-Eyed Man, the Special Forces soldier with optic nerves in his fingertips. Big Sir, a mentally handicapped man named Doofus Pete Ratchet who donned battle armor to fight the Flash. The Turtle, Barry Allen's very first foe who thought he could stop the fastest man alive by being the slowest man alive. Ferlin Nixley, a museum curator with low self-esteem who found a magic harp and then put on a fursuit to fight Superman. And Wacky Man, an Aquaman-themed clown who was coerced by gangsters to use his robot fish gimmick to commit crimes. Now on to the top 5. Number 5, Bag-O Bones. Batman has a whole menagerie of weird villains, including Crazy Quilt, Zebra Man, Kite Man, Polka Dot Man, and tons more. But one who doesn't quite get as much attention is Bag-O Bones, a jewel thief who, after being hit with a purple light ray, gained the powers of invisible skin and electricity, which made him look like a skeleton shooting lightning from his hands, which I think we can agree is a natural creative decision. Later, his powers would evolve and he would rename himself, first as the Cyclotronic Man, and then as the One-Man Meltdown. Both completely awesome, not at all terrible names. Number 4, Annihilator and Son. At first glance, the Annihilator might seem like any run-of-the-mill supervillain who drank Kryptonian explosives and gained superhuman strength, and then decided to put on a really stupid-looking mask and kill Superman. But where he gets awesome is that he decides to adopt a teen juvenile delinquent named Pocketbook Pete, who drinks the Kryptonian chemicals himself when his father loses his powers and becomes Annihilator Jr. Superman is only able to stop Son of Annihilator and his gang of street toughs by giving Pocketbook Pete a chemical that turns him into a baby. For some reason, Annihilator and Son have never been seen again. Number 3, Blue Snowman. Wonder Woman has a number of odd villains, and probably the second weirdest is Berna Brilliant, a small-town schoolteacher who decided to make a fortune through extortion. Her father was a scientist who invented blue snow, a special kind of snow that freezes everything it comes in contact with. So Berna decided to dress like a snowman and threatened to freeze her neighbor's farm unless they gave her their life savings. Yes, that's right, she is a woman dressed as a man dressed as a snowman who has a gun that shoots extra cold snow. Wonder Woman made short work of her, but surprisingly, this oddball has made several other appearances since her Golden Age debut. Number 2, Snowflame. Snowflame only ever made one appearance, in 1988's New Guardians number 2, but boy was it a memorable one. The previous issue had introduced Hemogoblin, a vampire with AIDS who was created by racists to give AIDS to non-whites. And yet, somehow, Snowflame manages to be weirder than that. Snowflame is a Colombian drug lord who is powered by cocaine. Whenever he ingests that particular narcotic, he gains super strength and his body becomes covered in white flames. He died when he was thrown into an exploding shed. He has never been seen again. And now, number 1, Egg Foo. Oh hey, here's that even weirder Wonder Woman villain. Remember how in the 60s the US really hated communism? Apparently they also hated eggs, because 1965's Wonder Woman number 157 saw the debut of Egg Foo, a giant egg who was also a horrible Chinese stereotype with a prehensile Fu Manchu mustache and an embarrassing long duck dong accent. Despite being crushed to little eggy pieces by Wonder Woman, Egg Foo returned as his own descendant, Egg Foo the Fifth, and perhaps even more surprisingly, he was reintroduced in 2006 as Shang Tzu, still egg-shaped, but ditching most of the racial caricature aspects of his design. That's all for this week. Look for us again in 7 days when we say 5 more things. Thanks for watching this episode of Fantastic Fives. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.